Glasgow captain, who will you send up first?
Katie Ailes.
Katie Ailes will be coming up first for Glasgow. Captain, Captain T, please go. It's heads. Do you want to go third or fourth? Starting with Jim Monica. So, it's Ayrshire going up first in the second half. It's the same situation except in reverse order. So, please give Jim Monaghan a welcome.
Respect of Leonardo DiCaprio, which so far has never been the case. I take one look at your sun-starved, frosty jack-sucking, EDM loving face. I need a prelude just to get through that first date. Like Jack the Titanic, more foxy than Gilbert Grape. Unprecedented arrogance. What are you so cocky about? A selfie in your toilet, you've left the air freshener out. One seemingly nice gent offered to take me out to dinner. I thought, here we go, I'm on to a winner. So after a few days of chatting, I sent him my number, and then he sent me a photo of his throbbing member at 4:30 in the afternoon. There's something rather amusing about a dick pic, as if us birds are all waiting eagerly for a photo of your prick. And as soon as we see it, we drop everything real quick. Screw him a Bikram yoga, I need a penis tip. The ones that are the worst are the guys that seem legit. They watch House of Cards and they like Jim will paint it. Then they send you an attachment. You wait as the pixels load. The disappointment rises, it's just their naked chode. But looking through their profiles, I can't believe my eyes. The oddest choice of photos which I've grown to despise. Pictures of you holding a Wayne makes my room recede inside me. I don't want no baby daddy, so I decline politely. Showing your own wedding snaps tells me you have baggage. You're posing by a captive tiger, now that's a little savage. And then there's the chat, which leaves a lot to be desired. Too many conversations which have left me uninspired. How to eat your cream egg, this father is dire. You're asking me to marry you, well, God loves a shire. Using phrases such as live fast, die young, or just so you know I'm well hung, or sex instructor, gain out 3 classes, or I only take first up to their asses. Too much sleaze and vulgarity for me to cope. I almost deleted the app. I was beginning to lose hope. Then, one day I swiped right and matched with my online Prince Charming. His pierced nose and the kittens he was cuddling were disarming. He's been travelling around the world, it's really quite alarming. He has tattoos and stylish facial hair. He asks me about myself, he really seems to care. He's a fan of Wes Anderson films, he cycles just like me. He claims to make a bitchin' cup of tea. He's too cool to take a selfie. He's vegetarian, he looks dead healthy. He's really smart, he's been to uni twice. All in all, he seems pure nice. I think to myself, my lucks came in, I've met the one, it's time to cash in. So I sent him my digits and said bye with an extra kiss. Then 2 minutes later my phone bleeps, what's this? He finds me so beautiful and funny he can't resist. He texts me and tells me, oh, it's a photo. I open it real quick. Oh, for fuck's sake, he sent me a photo of his dick. A handful of nettle stings and a history full of Vikings. We are high roads, and low roads we are potatoes to the side of potatoes. In the beginning we were prehistoric. Cavendish and Brodgar, tombs early the dead, Gallic tongues that since from themselves smooth. We were Walter Scott's daydream of Tartan and Waverley, swaying on till today. We are fresh seafood. Catches caught in lobster fields, cracked hands of the fishermen. We are cliff faces. Busy Aberdonians winding trips down windy lanes. We are train journeys that take us from Glasgow Queen Street to Inverness, calling at Dundee and Edinburgh Waverley. We are the towns that could only belong in this country. Galsby, Larber, Carnoustie, Auchtermuchty, Finnstown. We are farmers, plumbers, musicians, engineers and inventors. We gave humans the internet, the BBC, the pneumatic tyre, and Billy fucking Connolly! We are Ian Rankin Mysteries. Find on Flesh Market Close, Conan Doyle on the street, Muriel Spark in her prime. We are uncensored Galilean Welsh, but read the words of Jordan Mackay Brown, Edwin Muir and Morgan. We are Mouths of Rock that spit out runes. We are Hearts of the Fire, ready pass on flame to the next generation. We are the nation that take on seagulls in the battle for chips. And we are sand under fingernails and stolen seashells. We are black pudding mornings and rock pools we catch our dreams in. We are hobbled on cobbled streets, sung to sleep by sore feet, unamused David Human are Jacobs, Shans, Gurgle and Rad. We are Cravat this morning, PD and line to smocks, burglar alarms and curly whirlies. We are fish and chips. Salt crystals that stick, we are sweet smiles, made of iron brew at Highland shows where the sun splits the sky, and we have strong opinions over who should win best sheep. We are forts, we are mountains, we are Ben Nevis and Loch, the Isle of Mull. We are low-voiced men and slow fiddle music, all of which encourage you to
Visit Scotland. And we are more. We are not Scotland the Brave, we are not one-dimensional Gryffindors, we are the Hufflepuffs of Europe. We are strong, hard-working and reliable, we are Scotland more. More than white Meltonians making our decisions for us, more than the drunk deep-fried Glaswegian stereotypes which are delicious, by the way. We are more than Old Lang Syne mispronounced a Hogmanay, we are more than Burns' shitey poetry. Yeah, said it.
Boo.
We have been pushed down and stepped upon, but we rise up. We are more than Margaret Thatcher's thumbprint and a generation of stolen milk. More than being treated like a test lab to experiment your policies on, because Britain is not one nation but four, and Edinburgh is not the Athens of the north, Athens is the Edinburgh of the south. We are Scotland! And we are beautiful. We are life-changing landscapes and pocketfuls of fresh rain, history and geography met together in an infinite marriage. We are more cultured than any probiotic yogurt. We are funny. We are smart, we are reliable, we are here to stay, and we are more.
And Tom McAdam, of course, that invented by Scotsman, went all over the world, except for one place, the new town of Edinburgh. When will they ever take it in and put it down in the garden?
He sends a text at 1 AM. Carefully selected words, no interference, sloppy double meanings or any of that. It's clear, quick, straight to the point. I promise I will not fall in love with you. 50 years ago, we'd have married, flown from pecks in the cheek and unmentionable hard-ons to fully fledged virginal pretense in front of relatives. I will, and I do. Certainty is expressed with a certainty that comes from lack of alternatives. As our mothers stood, precariously balanced on two tall shoes, trailing bridesmaids and flower girls and giving away like an heirloom. Get your oven ready. Consummate. You're nearly 22. Now, we have casual sex and quick caresses that we pretend mean nothing. Because they're meant to. Because we're all grown up now. There's no more holding hands with demands, days pass in silent wondering. As Russell said in a context we can't quite understand, being without some of the things you want is an indispensable part of happiness. And I promise I will not fall in love with you. Dawns on me. This is what he thinks I want. Independent, freedom-loving, independent, autonomy. Love? What? Ridiculous. Love is for sticky hippies disappointed at the lack of certificate. It's for beige women who commute and buy tailored suits that they dress down at weekends. It's for people with weekends. It's for people with time in their hands. It's for people still hoarding Cinderella tales without even thinking about the class implications. It's for people who've never been disappointed. It's for people who've never read a book the whole way through. It's for people who were never bullied at school. We know we are better. 50 years ago, I'd have necked the first wave of antidepressants and cursed you rigid. I'd have fallen asleep during the day and regularly. Our kids would have gotten soaked on the way home from school come rain, sleet or snow. You'd have had to make excuses for my absence from work dinners. Jenny has fatigue, code for the black dog, gnawing at the bedclothes, barren too early. I wish for one more to fill with me, to fill the day's hay. Don't say this is cynical. This is what was lived. We've been the worth of it. Now, half babies we bled mean nothing. We wake up and we miss them, those dear daughters, dear nobodies, but parenthood doesn't just happen to anyone, you know. We have yummy, scrummy mummy t-shirt maxims to prove it. It is specialist work for the few. And I promise I will not fall in love with you. I promise I will not fall in love with you with all those tangly, awful consequences. I promise I will not love you with all my heart and always. That view's been done, overused through baby boomer abundance. 50 years hence, if I have not succumbed to mouth cancer, I will play you at dominoes and chess, but thank the Lord we have the autonomy now to enjoy these joyful, bouncy, temporary reveries. The time to read books, to think and be zesty. Kind of takes the edge off all of the rest. Kind of takes the edge off all of the rest.
Hush, the pain. The sound of rain upon the floor. There wee Jimmy couldn't contain himself. He watched the tide ebb and flow. Around his feet a rock pool grew, and from his lips a silent moan. The face of Blossom trapped inside reflected back his eyes, his own, to hide within, to dive into, to meet his fate head on. He knew, flushed red, The fighters round his nose, a lighthouse full security, will lure and drag him in his dreaded to jagged rocks and crush. As sure as darkness spread around his shirts, a hush. His Lazarus, his steam arose, the implication of his guilt, his double nemesis accused pointedly from serpent's lips. It was him, sister! He caught me, a clapping wee shite they spat, two Marys as one voice. The thunder in his ears, the noise inside his seat, the tears held back revealed a kind of peace at last, exhaled as sobs released. Two bubbles popped from nostrils flare. He didn't seem to care as rivers breathed past his lips and down his chin, his chest, and came to rest to stop and formed a verdant checkerboard. His hoops were crossed on his silver top. The class absorbed in silence observed the trick of life, and now his snuffers white and white appeared about his mouth a smirk. "You wretched boy!" the penguin shrieked. We gasped. Young Jim dragged onward by the ears, resigned himself to face the paws and taste the fiery sting as toes met thighs and arse. With that sound, our fear had flown, and now, united in relief, behind our hands, we laughed.
Others are fairly new to it, others that were doing it 15 years ago would have been 7 years old. But do not underestimate the level of commitment it takes for these people to reach this peak of ability to charm you and to put their point across. Scores, please.
The existential crisis that comes when a guy comes to your house to fix your boiler and you're not really sure what to say to him. Or as it's known in Edinburgh, the help. There's a workie in my house and he's fixing the boiler or something. I'm not too sure. But he wears overalls and boots just like my dad. There's a workie in my house and I should probably offer him tea. But that seems offensive. When did we decide that all workies like tea? There's a workie in my house and I'm watching him work in silence. It got really weird over a minute ago. There's a workie in my house and he's about my age, so he should really know the score. Follow the rules, mate. Ask me if I saw the game. If I saw the game last night, well, that team was shite and the manager will soon be on his way. They spent millions on that guy and all he does is fucking dive, and at least then I'd have something to say. There's a workie in my house and I wonder if he judges wallpaper and furniture. Probably not. He'll have seen worse than mine. There's a workie in my house and he knows all about it. Pipes and stuff. But all I can do is write bad poetry. There's a workie in my house and I really shouldn't feel this level of angst, existential or otherwise, because he does something useful, just like my dad.
26 years old, and I finally felt the weight of you. And while you were always small, I knew my strength alone wouldn't be enough to carry you. So I stood 3 by 2, And I led with my left, right behind my uncle. I left behind all the crosswords said, and right after I laid you down to rest, I left breath on your brand new pinewood chest. Hardest day of your life, they say. Like it'll go away. Like tomorrow isn't just another hurdle for you to climb. Like time hasn't unfurled itself right in front of your eyes and left a war zone in your way. Walls and barbed wire chains made of birthday parties and Christmas holidays. No choice but to wade through the mud of past joys you will forget to not remember. See, I don't write anymore. Instead, I stab and tear at the pages I chose to scribble my life upon. And when ink dries, the only words that reach bloodshot eyes are the lyrics to your song. And the intro starts in my chest with the drum beat notes claw up my throat and crash into clenched teeth. It ends in a scream. See, poets paint with colours of emotion. But how can I create art when you have left me only one, and it is storm cloud grey? Until just like ships that sail stormy seas, I see nothing but uncertainty in front of me. Mothers paint with colours of flesh and bone. They use blood like thread to stitch love into children's souls. They are sculptors, and they carve with care and precision. The only problem with making art is you can die before you finish. I am unfinished. Not half the man that I could be if you were still here to oversee how I rise to the challenges life throws at me. I am unfinished. Like every poem I write, wholeheartedly started only to be quickly discarded when I realize I have nothing left to say. I am unfinished. We are both too far away to keep carving. This is the first of the poems you will never hear. And I fear, like me, they will remain.
I carry you everywhere, silent and smiling in my heart, and what once was flesh and blood and thought is now paper, ink and words spoken, a life running parallel, a place and a person interwoven. And I love your goth girl looks, the way that winter night envelops you, swaddling exquisite Victorian shoulders in an ever-changing frame of blue-black velvet hues punctuated by pinholes of pervading light, intensifying your beauty more than July's sun ever could, try as it might. And you're my landlocked harbour, creator of dreams and rekindler of old ones, when you hold them to your chest like a wounded blackbird until they can fly again on their own. And I owe you so much, but you've never been my home. But what's home anyway? Is it just brick and slate when you rest your head? Can you touch it? Can you hold it? Is it something else instead? Home is the sound of your mother's voice, calling you softly from the mists of childhood. Home is soul comfort, and home is renewal. Home is at once the transient and the anchor, fixed and floating in time and space. Home can be wet pavements and burned out nightclub buildings. Home is train stations and 6 AM traffic jams and looming winter weather that swathes my psyche and sails me to sepia and pulls me back on course. And you've been all these things to me, and I hold you silent and smiling in my heart. And what once was flesh and blood and thought is now paper, ink, and words spoken of lives running parallel, a place and a person interwoven forever. Forever my second city. Forever my second home. Forever hope. Forever Glasgow. Fuck Edinburgh.
So true. How dare you? Hey!
That's quite an easy question, Rob. Right, everybody else has moved on to their other poems. I'm still stuck in this fucking chip shop. Next on the menu, ladies and gentlemen, is a mock chop. He's come up a mock chop is. Asked that woman at the, she came up, what'd you say? It's a hamburger. It's a fucking mock job. That's what it is. A mock job. We get them in Dundee, we came with a hat. I thought about what's in the mock job. Anybody care what's in it? No? And what I tell you. What's the harm in road with the mock job? You care what's in it? Any thoughts? What about pigs, trotters, bear and snotters, sardines we have to flare, held together with bits of pubic hair? It's like a wee elephant's lug. There's more minerals and nutrition in a rubber or a chrome-plated plug. It's an imposter, it's a thug. It's got the right tuck in its place in the hot plate. It's a fraud, it's false mate. It's sat next to a filleted haddock, 12 fritters in a banquet coy. It's a hoax, it's burnt toast, it's a fake boast. It's out of the bones left over for any Sunday roast. It's iconic, it's ironic, it's golden brown texture like sun. Lazy dooming in mind that runs, made up for distant lands. And eat it with both hands. My head has no other plans. It's my fix, it's an eclectic mix. It leaves my peas cosy in my socks. It's big women in flirty frocks. It's opportunity knocks. It's a fucking mock job. That's what's in it, ladies and gentlemen. Also, next on the menu, I'm still stuck in this fucking chip shop. I wondered how that guy met his wife. And then came up with a wee story how he actually met her. She came in out the blue, wearing a pair of polka dot knickers, blackfish neck tights and a pair of navy blue shoes. He was busy bartering the puddings with a semi in his screws. On a scale from 1 to 10, you rated her there and then. The closest he came to the counter, he couldn't even fucking look at her. He got a hot bothered and flustered, he was creaming his cakes, but then confidence. He mustard. She winked at him and blew him a fake kiss, then placed her bosoms on the counter like twa jellyfish. He says, "Can I help you?" She says, "Help yourself." He says, "Look at my business, man. I'm just here to rap and sell." He proceeded to point to the menu and say, "Hey there, lassie, there's fuck all free in here. This is my menu." "Alright," she says, "no bother, fair play." And she pulls up her knickers and tights seductively back up her legs. She wiggles her ass and sorts out her gusset and says, "A single white pudding and 12 boiled eggs. A bag of quavers and half a dozen fritters, and do you do such a thing as a split gibbet?" To this very day, he caught the cut to his life. To this very day, he calls her his wife. There was howls and squeals that I've never heard before. Christ, then she had the fucking deal was there, settling a score. What a pair! You want to hear what they called each other that night on that chip shop floor.
Okay. Would you like to mark that? 10 underneath.
Monica!
Not bad. But who's up next? It's Katie Hills. Coming up next. Give her a welcome.
Dear Dad. Yeah, too much. Dear, well, you jerked off into a cup in a fertility clinic in Pennsylvania sometime in the winter of 1992, and that's all I know. You can laugh, it's hysterical. That and your eyes are probably blue. Dear donor, then. It ain't elegant, but it'll do. Let's get coffee, you and I. I'll order black, you'll order something. And I'll stare at the lines of your cheekbones as we sit, not talking. The silence will stretch as I imagine how you yawn and if your ears pop when you ride airplanes. You'll ask me what I do, where I call home, and I will pan the stream of your voice for my own. But I won't ask what you do. You are easier as wet clay. I can mold you into an astronaut, a rock star, hell, you could be Brad Pitt. So I want to know if you're a dentist or an accountant. Sorry. The things I want to know, I will not ask. Like, do you eat peanut butter, crunchy or smooth? And on trains, do you sit facing forward or back? And who's better, Eric Clapton or Brian May? And are you one of those people who likes mayonnaise? And do you ever think about me? Do they even tell you I was born?
Let's get coffee, you and I, so I can match your face to the Rorschach thoughts my mind has inked from long nights of staring at mirrors, doing the queasy math of subtracting my mother's features and erasing those I thought were my father's until I am left with a collection of scars, freckles, lips, and eyes unsure of what they see anymore. Then I construct your face from my fragments, like some drunk Picasso, stitching together features with 2 weak threads until I am left with a mannequin who looks like no one. A man akin to no one with probably blue eyes. Truth is, we will never be in this cafe. There will be no black coffee, nor cheekbone. You will only ever be a sculpture of smoke rings, and I will never know for sure even about your eyes, but hey, most days, this is enough. It is easier to work with clay that never dries than to sit opposite a stranger and wonder if you're supposed to call him Dad. So dear whomever, I hope your life is wonderful. I hope you like your peanut butter crunchy. You know Clapton is better. You hate mayonnaise. And I hope on trains you sit facing forward. But every so often you glance out the window and out of the blur of trees and wind, you sketch a face.
Oh.
Yeah.
Thanks, Katie. That's lovely.
This is about my people, the African American people today, and 60 years ago, or as the white man called them, the help. We're very rusty. The city explodes like an old star. Like fireworks, the flickering lights light up the dark. The city's veins run deep and far. On tundras flow through these streets like blood. Metaphors grow in the corners in the dry mud. The boy stands in the epicenter of this unbloomed bud. His eyes are pitch black with a thin rim tinted yellow. He's a demon born from these streets. His heart is the beach, his voice is the flow. The old man says you gotta laugh like to grow. Just be careful who you chose to follow. Your words are too mellow, they should be a fiasco. The boy says, I am the Kira to your Tetsuo. I am a lens, not a mirror. Mark my word, I will be bigger than you, your sons, and a lot of you sinners. The city is turning inside out. The underground is rising. The drums are getting loud. The cries and the sighs are turning to shouts. You can kill me if you fear. You can kill me if you doubt. But I am revolution. I will come for you. The old man says, back in the day I was revolution too. They say you're the king. They say you're the King James to my Jordan, but remember, I've slain Chamberlain in his sleep, like a chambermaid in deceit, like the good king's drunken blood was drained from his spleen, so you can kill me if you want to. Like Macbeth, you can have my heart at your feet, but insanity will creep with every stroke of the beat. You won't fear for your life, ha! You fear for your sleep. Voices will whisper, sleep no more, young king turned sheep, but to get to me, you'll have to go through Lamar, Fiasco, Death and Quali. You say you're a king, our king died for free, our king died for free, don't be done, the defeat be done! The defeat be done! The defeat. The boy says one day, we will meet like the moon and the sun, we will align and cast a shadow on the earth, but when the eclipse is done, only the sun will stay. It can't be both night and day. The old man says, it is our night for another's day. It is our darkness for another's light. It is our sleep for another's fight. So go! And come back when your time is right. I will be waiting.
Whoa! It's a 9. Okay, we've now had the full second round, and what's going to happen now is we're going to tot up the scores, we're going to take a 10-minute interval, and in the final section, 2 of the teams will be going forward to contest. I have the prizes here, and you can decide amongst yourself, would you like the teddy bear? This is the teddy bear. Or there's the tea towels. Tea towels. We have, of course, the Captain Wilson will like this. Mr. Robert Burns!
Okay, the new.
Robert Burns tea towel. And of course, then this is maybe for the person who gets the most points. Of course, the coveted Duncan Bannatyne tea towel.
Oh, what not?
The Duncan Bannatyne tea towel. the good prize. And the winning team can share these lovely items amongst themselves. Just about covered everything. So, the scores. That's the scores from the first half. And these are the scores from the second half. Edinburgh had 185 points. They added 199 points. Their total is 384. Give it up for Edinburgh. Glasgow had 208 points. They added 202 points. The total is 410. Dundee had 187 points. They added 181 points. The total is 368. Ayrshire had 196 points. They added 194 points. They have 390. They are in second place. Ayrshire captain, please call. Heads. It's tails. Captain of Glasgow, would you like to go first or second? Good, that's your Ayrshire. Please, give it all up.
We pull for the vault. I want to be an architect and build you something that will last a lifetime. But maybe architect is too cold for how I feel, too logical, too full of geometric lines, too mathematical. So, I want to be a jazz musician and improvise in non-linear ways every day on the things I would like to be able to say. Because most of the time, words fail me, and your presence derails me. So I'd create you something serene, something Coltrane Supreme, a madcap love bop like Dizzy Gillespie, maybe even smacked out gorgeous Birth of the Cool Era Miles. But most of all, I want to be a poet and write you something perfect. Lines that convey every thought, every sentiment, every panoramic aspect of my feelings. Lines like, till all the seas gang dry, and I want to be yours. And pretty much any line on Joni Mitchell's Blue. And look, I know that this is not the perfect poem, but I've got rivers of ink in each turn of this planet's axis while I'm still standing on it, to find it in me and write it for you.
Guns don't kill people, people kill people. I am the long-fingered man. My digits stretch and bend, warp and extend, wend their way hundreds of yards to your throat, where my nails pierce your voice silent. I am the long-legged man. My thighs stretch miles, feet reaching out to tap you with a toe, shatter your spine, lay you low. My limbs stretch fields and instants, like lizards' tongues licking you before you smell my breath. Slim, yet strong, I slip through trench holes and fences, shatter windows and airflows. When my muscle clenches, I've killed you already, quicker than thought. I am the lightning heart man, beating round after round after round, never stop round after round after round, never stop fighting you, never stop fighting you, never stop fighting. I am the automatic man, the shoot first, ask later man, the man whose tongue is rusty, but whose trigger is oiled slick. I whistle past your ear if you're lucky, snip rips in your shirt to flirt, or to get to the heart of it, I dive my thumb into your aorta like a plum on a spit. I look like any other man, like you. Undetected, they let me into schools. I used to be you, minuscule, limited to these stubbed limbs, this soft underbelly body, defenseless. Until they placed this steel into my hand and it grew into me, expanding my sight, my range. You will see me and be awed. You will want to be me too, to keep me from you until we all match. Spindles of limbs tensed, ready to snap, playing our playground cold wars. Beware, for I am the laser-eyed man, beaming red onto your chest, illustrating the warm thump of your heart, not knowing to beat faster in fear, not knowing I'm here, but for all my brawn, my reach, my yawning pause, I am the short-sighted man who cannot see the light in your eyes when I snuff their life.
Okay, coming up next, representing the Shire, it is Jenny Lindsay.
Classic Ayrshire pessimism. You had no fucking idea this would happen. So, I'm going to do you another poem about Edinburgh. Edinburgh's an amazing city to live in, I will say. There are lots and lots of tourist attractions. This is a poem about something that has become a bit of a tourist attraction that really fucking shouldn't be. It's about Nicholson Street in Edinburgh and North Bridge. It's called Jumper on the Bridge. And it's a found poem, which means it's a very wanky way of saying I heard a bunch of people say some shit, and I wrote it down, and I made it right. Right, Jumper on the Bridge. Quick, come and look, there's a jumper on the bridge. He's been up there half an hour, some 16-year-old kid. You can see him from the office window, from the Mount or Jeffrey Street. We can put down to platform 22 for the best spectator seats. Quick, come and look, there's a jumper on the bridge. I can't hear my bus was diverted. Fucking selfish little shit. I really need to get to Tesco's. Yes, it is a little inconvenient. A little? Oh, jump, just get it fucking over with. Quick, come and look, he could jump at any minute. He's been up there 40 already. This is a total YouTube moment. Get your camera, Sasha, darling. We could use this in our show, you know, music by Mogwai in the background, or we could edit in a poem. Oh my god, I thought he was about to plunge. Jump, jump, jump. I've only 10 minutes left of my lunch. It's probably just some junkie kid. It's a shame, but it's how it goes. Still, he could have thought to have waited until the shops were closed. Because, you know, I don't really want to look. Wait, is that him about to go over the side to Market Street and onto the tracks below? Quick, come and look! Oh, the police have got him down. Just another attention seeker, road-blocking fucking clown. Oh, that was a waste of time. Aye, too right, and I never got to get to boots to buy my meal deal either. I'm going to be starving later. Some folk are so fucking selfish. They better well get the roads open later so I can get home to my kids. Hey, did you hear about the jumper on the bridge? He was up there 2.5 hours. Some 16-year-old kid. Broken home or something. Closed the entire street. It's good. They got him down and charged him with a breach of the peace.
I'm pissed off at a certain type of magazine. Easily digestible publications for women and teens. They are reductive rubbish, teaching me to hate myself and other women and men. But hey, if they tell me what new lipstick to buy, it makes it okay then. They repeat the same old rhetoric about my potential beauty and good health, claiming to reveal that elusive secret which will make me happy and increase my wealth. On the glossy surface and a glance at their interior, they look fun, but they're designed to make us feel inferior. Size, models on every page, encouraging the newest diet fad. They're there to make clothes look good and us feel bad. They promote the obsessive and obscene celebrity culture, paparazzi circling around people like hungry vultures, waiting to get the money shot of them getting out of a taxi cab, camera right under the skirts, hoping they're not wearing pants. Mindless gossip and fabricated and exaggerated rumours, growing in young minds like deadly tumours. Spending time on their appearance becomes a need. The illusion of personal choice is beginning to recede. Look how this multi-millionaire has managed to lose all her baby weight and squeeze her ass into a tight dress. Shame on all you normal women without personal trainers or home gyms. Your life would be fine if only you were thin. Adverts on every second page encouraging you to spend money that you don't have, take out a loan, increase your overdraft, get a credit card, get into debt to get that great handbag, it's a must-have. Then there's slut-shaming, nasty naming, demonisation, fame turning on and attacking its very own creation. The magnification of flaws, mistakes, problems and normality. These magazines are a threat to our society. Star goes makeup free as she steps out her house. You can see her unmatching bra through that blouse. Crow's feet, bingo wings, saggy tum, cellulite bum, she's piled on the pounds after being dumped. A woman who is famous for her ability to sing, vilified for leaving her house without a wedding ring. The circle of shame. Can you believe that she's worn that outfit again? Tips and tricks to change yourself so he will love you more. A quiz. How much sex are you having? Are you a virgin or a whore? 9 telltale signs that your boyfriend is cheating on you. But all your problems will be solved when you buy this killer shoe. A new magical cream to make your skin look flawless. Rewind and reverse the natural aging process. Now I'm lucky enough to be in an educated position. I grew up with messages of empowerment and feminism. But it's not me that I'm worried about. It's the young and impressionable little girls and boys who are taught from a young age to play with certain toys, to act a certain way towards one another, be strong and dominant like a father, or weak and soft like a mother. They compare their imperfections to Photoshop creations, an alternative reality of poreless faces and unrealistic expectations. I'm pissed off at girls' magazines, because they encourage me to hate myself and spend money I don't have, raising a generation of girls who care more about the thigh gap than the pay gap.
Who does the atheist pray to? When the foundations of life begin to crumble, when reality is torn at the seams by cells microscopically humble, or organs that stutter and falter, hands clasped without an altar? Who does the atheist pray to? When wires protrude from skin, when your ineffectual hoping is overshadowed by spectres long and thin, reaching for something akin to affirmation, but falling eternally short of salvation? Who does the atheist pray to? When bodies rebel against inhabitants, when virus spreads like fire, engulfing a colony of ants, pharmacological assault on a vessel already in tatters, but no deity answers me when it really matters. The zealots of the market corner, an omniscient aid. Will I conjure up a god for a few seconds in the pub when I get paid? Celestial guidance is not forthcoming to a cynical wretch such as myself. Hard-boiled rationality, logic more valuable than wealth. Who does the atheist pray to? When the unthinkable becomes commonplace, when life becomes untenable, existence lurches inexorably towards disgrace, nature's ornaments shed and fall, with no heavenly hotline for me to call. Who does the atheist pray with? With which faction shall we side? In which building shall we seek solace? Under which cloak of narrative shall we hide? When science fails to sate our longing, and medicine cannot cure our longing, who does the atheist shout at? When frustration overflows, when studied distance proves inadequate in extricating you from your woes, in which arbitrary orientation should I direct my ire, with eyes pinned to the sky, lest I be cast in the fire? And so I pray to you, Jesus, Mohammed, Buddha, Shiva, Jehovah, spaghetti monster, societal construction, shared daydream, collective illusion. I pray to you. Look after her.
You paid him to do it.
Give it up. See, I've been going for quite a creative period. But,
taking tablets? I hope you know that. Not really.
watch it, trainer. So I wrote 23 poems last week. I'm not sure which one to do, so I'll read the first lines, and you choose. Here we go. Those who say hate the sin, not the sinner, are often quite fond of both. If self-pity is so unattractive, how come poets get laid? If you like one of these, just yell. Get ready to be happy. Kafka's bought a love puppet. That's a maybe, I guess. Irony is just poignancy for cruel people. That one? Hard to tell. This poem sums up everything Karl Marx wrote about love. That's the last line too. I'm a Libra. Shallow fuckers. Visual beauty sluts. No. It's up to you. Sadly, only 3% of ducks are made of rubber. Not many more now, so make your choice. I'm collecting money to save the sky. Did Robert Burns have a telephone voice? I've translated Leonard Cohen into BG. Suzanne takes you down. Please stay with me. I'll say that as a no. Everyone agrees with Jesus nowadays. Just no one believes in him. If you buy a flat above the dentist, no one will hear you scream. Don't have sex with traffic wardens. Just pay the pigging fine. If you haven't chosen, you've had your chance. That was my last line. That was how the Second World War started, wasn't it?
Yes.
Hey. Okay. One team scored 195 points. One team scored 202 points. It was Glasgow that scored 202. Come and get your prizes. Duncan Valentine, Robert Burns, Teddy Bear. Duncan. Teddy Bear. Robert Burns and Teddy Bear. Okay, Teddy. For photographs with the lovely driving objects, Mike.
Thank you.
Speech.
Why is this a success?
It's a serious voice competition. Move the mic. It looked like Gordon Duncan had it up his nose. away, haven't I? The individual winner is Young Guild Dates.
Thank you very much. I came in sketching for my last two slams and I thought, if I just keep on doing this, the law of averages means I need to win one of these countries. I'm glad for this today, and I'd just like to say thank you to everyone for supporting Team Glasgow, and also fuck Edinburgh. Thank you.